Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to day 2 on Project Peggy. Today we are going to see how much we can get done in this really cold weather. Got quite a few bits and pieces to do. Car has been parked up for some time, but we need to get on with it, so let's go. I did have another spare one down there, which I think that was one of the ones I bought some time ago, and I had it stored. When I went to use it, it was no good, so I just tried it on here again, and it has got flashing lights when you turn the ignition, turn the indicator on. So this is the new clock spring with the little bits on the bottom, which aren't broken. Oh, excuse me. So I'll put the clock spring back on just so we can test the indicators. So yeah, as I say, this is a facelift car with 66,000 miles on it, and if we indicate, it seems okay. Parking help unavailable. Check out, oh, blimmin' black windscreen wiper. Parking help unavailable. Now that should get rid of that. Has this car got, that must have, this car must have had parking sensors, and that's why it's saying it's unavailable. Now proxy alignment should get rid of that. It should. I'm going to put it all back together, but I'm just going to start the engine. So yeah, nothing flashing there, nothing flashing there. Yeah, everything seems to work. Obviously the mileage is flashing because it's come out of another car. We need to put the original one back in. Just I've forgotten what the mileage is of this car now, so we need to find out what that is, and I'll take a photo of it. But yeah, it seems all right. So we'll put it all back together. We'll do a proxy alignment later on. So yeah, so far so good. It all looks good. No dodgy lights. We won't know for certain until tonight. I'll come out tonight just to make sure, but I think it's okay. That's good. Right, okay, let's get this all back in. Do I need to do? Yeah, I will disconnect the battery because I'm going to put the steering wheel and the airbag and everything back on again. So yeah, we'll disconnect the battery. We'll get it all back on, and then we'll come back. Right, Speedo's done. There is an issue, not with the Speedo, something else which I need to make you aware of, because I don't want you to follow my instructions on what I've done previously on this car as gospel, because yeah, there's an issue. I'll explain it to you in a minute, but we have a strange noise. I don't know if, I'm not sure whether the exhaust is blowing or what it is. Not really sure, so I'm going to clamber underneath and have a look. Well, there's nothing obvious. I can't see any gases escaping anywhere. I really can't see anything obvious. I will have a look under the back as well. It might be a bit of a red herring, but I'm pretty... No, it's coming from here. I can hear that it's coming from this end. Right, I'm going to just get my head underneath, and I probably can't take the camera with it. I'll give it a try. I'm pretty sure it is that flexi, because if I put my hand there, I can feel what feels like exhaust gases. Can't smell anything, but I think I'm pretty sure you shouldn't feel. It's like having a hot hairdryer blowing on your hand. Pretty sure that's what it is, I think, that flexi. But hopefully you could see that all right. But you can hear it. It's almost like there's no exhaust on it. So yeah, I think that's what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it here. Oh no, I know what I needed to do. I need to tell you about what I discovered inside. Let me just quickly get in there. We'll take it off the ramps, and I'll just explain to you what I've discovered. let me just get inside. As you know, if you refer back to the beginning of this video, I use the updated metal ignition bit, whatever you like to call it. Somehow it must be different to the plastic one, because when I've tried to get the bottom cowling on, I just couldn't get the damn thing on. Where you push it into the two little pins and then you squeeze it down at the back and you do the screws up, it's just not in the right position. And when let me just turn the camera around a second. When I move the wheel, you can hear it's doing that because it's rubbing on it. Look, and it's not, it just won't go in. So I think it's too big at the bottom, which means that this bottom piece is not sitting, it's not sitting in the right position. So I think I'm going to have to redo that and use the plastic one. Typically I bought 2 of them as well, which are obviously fine for when I do facelifts, stolen recovered. I'll just have to keep them for that. But I'm pretty sure that's the issue. Pretty sure that's the issue. So I'll get one of those ordered today, and then we'll have to, unfortunately it's just repeating what I've already done, but I'll just have to do it. I'll do that off camera, I won't bother showing you that, but yeah, we just have to repeat what we've already done in the beginning of this video, and then it should go on okay. A nuisance, but one of those things, you live and learn. It does say on those 2015 onwards, but I thought that was just because they'd improved it. And I used one on the last car, but of course the last stolen recovered car was a facelift, so it wasn't an issue. So they must be slightly different. Okay, so it's just started raining, which is not a problem because I intend to be in the car. So I obviously mentioned to you about the exhaust, and I've shown it to you. We've got one in the post. So what we get in the box is a tube of exhaust system sealant, 2 clamps, and that says on there Love 500 52 CLX 48 CLX. So they are different widths. I'm just hoping that's the bigger one. I'm not sure which one fits onto where. Let's hope it fits. So that, I believe, is what the problem is with this. But as I pointed out to you on the previous video, sorry, not on the previous video, earlier on in this video, I'm going to sort out this ignition. So I'm going to have to take the whole damn thing off again from scratch, take that metal ignition barrel out, use a plastic one which I've now bought, which should be in the boot. Yep, there it is. We'll compare them actually when I'll get them out. I'll compare them, although I'm not going to film any of this because you've seen it all already. So I'm just going to do it. And then I did actually buy a new one of these as well, just in case it was a little bit deformed. I suppose what I could have done is I could have got one from a facelift and just put that on. But I don't know if it would fit the top bit, and then I'd have to buy the top bit as well. I don't know if they're different. So I thought, you know what, let's just do it as it should be. So hopefully we'll get that done. And then that'll be ready to carry on then. So obviously we've got to do that exhaust. That's the next thing to do after we've done that. And then we'll get on and do the little bits of bodywork that need to be done. I have been sent an Xtrons stereo, which I may or may not put in this car. I got an email from Xtrons a week or so ago asking me if I would like to do a review video on one of their stereos. Asked me to take a picture of the inside of the car, and I took a picture of the inside of this one, and the stereo arrived today by DPD. So I got that for free to do a review, so I will be doing a separate review on that when I install it, either in this car or in a different car. But yeah, I look forward to doing that. I've heard good things about Xtron stereos. Right, done it. That was a job and a half. You see, it's all nice now. It's all fits in there nice, as it should. What I had to do, I don't know why, but I could not get the ignition barrel, ignition bit out of the metal bit. There's that hole in it, and it wouldn't come out. Whatever I did, it wouldn't come out. Now there must be a way of getting it out, but I couldn't do it. I could not get the damn thing out. So before I lost my rag and threw it through a window, what I decided to do was I recently bought quite cheap an ignition set. So what I did is it was the black piece with an ignition already in it. So as I couldn't get that other one out, I put that in. And then what I've done is I've swapped the chip, the transponder chip. I've swapped that over into the key, into the other key, which the only thing means I had to swap over the petrol cap, and I will have to swap over the door lock, which is a bloody nuisance. That's really, really a nuisance. It's my fault for doing it wrong in the first place, using the metal one, but I don't understand why I can't get the damn thing out. So that will have to stay in there, and at some point I can use that in a facelift car, at some point. So it's not a complete waste, but as I say, I have got the door lock here that I will have to change at some point, but I don't need to do that just yet. So that's done anyway. So it's taken me probably about the best part 45 minutes, but it's on now. Car's all reconnected, it all works, the horn's not going off permanently, so that will now hopefully never have to come off again. Right, unfortunately we have a bit of an issue. So what I discovered and what I thought about was, of course, because this is out of a 2016 car, and I've not done a proxy alignment yet, which is why the mileage is flashing, and I thought to myself, the LCD facelift Speedos you can't use in a pre-facelift car. One of the reasons is because one, it doesn't have blue and me, which of course this doesn't, because it's a facelift Speedo, but the other thing is you can't set the clock. So although you can set the clock using the method, the workaround that I showed you previously, unless you're someone like me who's got multi-ECU scan and can be bothered to do that every 6 months when the clocks go forward or back, it's not going to work. So unfortunately I've had to buy another Speedo, so I've got to change this Speedo again. So I'm not going to show you again me doing it, because we've shown this so many times, but I am going to do it. This, I believe, the mileage that's on here is 66,711. I don't think I've adjusted, so I don't actually know what the mileage is on this car. I can't remember. It's lower than that, but I can't remember. So I'm going to have to plug in multi-ECU scan once I've put the new Speedo in, read the mileage from the body computer, and then we'll adjust the new one I'm putting out. I've got no idea what the mileage is on the new one. It's from a 2015 car. It was manufactured in January 2015, so it should be a pre-facelift one. We shall see when we get it installed. So I'm going to do that. We'll come back, we'll do the proxy alignment, and then we'll go from there. Right, I've got the new one in. I'm gonna, before I put it all back together, I've taken the steering wheel off. It just makes it easier to get the screws out for this. So for the sake of taking top and bottom cowlings off and the steering wheel off, it literally takes 5 minutes to do that, and it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to do that. You can get to it without doing that, but it's more awkward. What I bought myself to get the surround out was one of these to get in there. Makes life a lot easier. That is a T10, and then you need a T10 that goes up into there as well. But yeah, I just find it a lot easier to do that. The reason I'm coming back to you before I put it back in and we're carrying on is I just want to make sure, I've turned the power back on, I just want to make sure that it is going to work in this car. Otherwise I'm wasting my time and I'll have to change it yet again. 93,000 miles. So that's not an issue. Obviously we want to make sure it doesn't do the old flashing lights. Let's just turn the radio off. We want to make sure it doesn't do the flashing lights when you indicate. And obviously airbag failure, yeah, we know about that. And the other thing is to make sure that we can adjust the clock. That's the main thing. That's the only things. So we'll do that. Oh, look, it's 40. Can you believe it? Straight away, it's 40. I don't believe it. So this has got to go back. Unbelievable waste of time buying these Speedos sometimes. How many times have I bought Speedos and they are 40? Absolutely ridiculous. Back to the drawing board yet again. This is very frustrating when you buy these Speedos, and it does. The amount of times that this has happened to me. None of these breakers, I mean, this is a proper breakers yard. It's not like some bloke who's broken his car up and selling the bits. It's a proper breakers yard. Why the hell don't they check these things? It's a very well-known fault. They must know that they need to check them to make sure they work. It's just a waste of everybody's time and money. I've now started off the return. I've taken a picture, taken a video of it. The return has been automatically done by eBay, and it's given me a label to send it back. So now I've just got to get a refund. You know what? I might as well just get the broken one repaired. I might as well just make a list of the faults on that. It's £139, I think it is, to get them repaired. I might as well just do that. Pointless, absolutely pointless buying these on eBay. So, I'll shut the door. So, I'm not even sure this is the right one. Oh, shut up. 45,000, I think this, oh yeah, it's not, the mileage isn't flashing, so this is going to be the one for this car, isn't it? So what I might as well do is make a note of what's wrong with it, and I think I just might as well send it off for repair. At least when I get it back, I know it's going to work, rather than just wasting my money. Although it's costing me an extra 45, 50 quid or something, I might as well just do it. At least I know it's going to work. It's just ridiculous. So as we can see, we've got door open, ABS, and temperature light that are flashing up. I don't know whether, I might have to wait until it's dark. Yeah, we've got the brake light is staying on. You can just about see it. Brake light staying on as well. Is it just the brake light? I think so. Just waiting for it to go out. Yeah, I think it is just that one. We'll double check that tonight when it's dark. So what I've decided to do today, as you can see, I've put it up on ramps. I thought I'd have a go at the exhaust. So we need to undo one end and then cut the other end, unfortunately. I don't like the idea of having to cut it off, but that's what you have to do. I don't know whether it's going to fit. That's the problem. I've already shown you it, I think, on the last video, and I have seen reports that they don't fit. That is generally, that seems to be if you've got an aftermarket exhaust fitted on it, I think, which may be slightly different diameter. I don't know whether this is an aftermarket, whether it's ever been replaced, probably not. Hopefully not. We will see. If it doesn't fit, I'm not going to drop the old one out and weld it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a complete new system all the way to the back box, and then we'll just reinstall that. I'm not going to mess around trying to weld things. So I'm going to give it a go. So we'll get underneath, just have you show you again where it is we've got to undo it, where we've got to cut it, and so on. And hopefully it'll work, and we won't have a blowing exhaust anymore. Action. Right, so this is where it joins, just here. So it's probably got some exhaust paste on it, I imagine. It's a bit out of focus, sorry about that. But we've got two 13mm bolts on there. So then that will hopefully pull out, and then we need to cut it that end. So what I'll do is I'll offer up, once I've got this off, I'll offer up the new one and see if we can gauge the length. We'll mark it with a pen, and then we'll get the angle grinder on it and cut it off. Right, so I've got the bracket off. Came off relatively easy. So if we, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. If we hold this up, can't do it, trying to do it one-handed, it's difficult. So basically if I put that just there, I think what we need to do, I can't show you properly, I think what we need to do is just cut it here. But that is quite solid on there. I'm not quite sure whether we can knock it back. The fact that of course the exhaust is connected up that end doesn't help. I'm not sure whether you're meant to disconnect it that end or not. But I'm going to try whacking it, or maybe cut it, and then when it drops down you can probably pull it off. That might be a better way. So I'm going to get the angle grinder on that. The problem is, of course, angle grinder, you can't get to the other side. So I'm wondering whether it needs to be dropped down. I don't know. We'll have a play and see what we can do. As you can see, I've pushed it back quite a long way. It's almost off, but I don't think it's not going back any further, and I think that's because it's pushed up against the heat shield the other end. I think that's why. So I think what I need to do is at the very least drop that rubber there. The problem is, because we're up on axle stands, the back of the car is low. Sorry, not on axle stands, we're up on ramps. The back of the car is low. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get underneath to do the exhaust at right at the very rear, which I don't think you need to do anyway. I mean, I need to drop it down. I don't know if that's going to be sufficient to drop it down and bend it. I think it probably will, because we need to be able to get to both sides there. So this needs to, once this is off here, it needs to drop down, and I think it will. I think there's enough bend in it to be able to do that. So if I can just drop it down, if you can see up there, let me try and zoom. I think you can see it, the silver bit in the middle of the picture is the heat shield, I think it's up against that at the bend. So if I release it there, I think hopefully it will drop down out of the way, and then we'll be able to get it off. Right, you can see it's dropped down that end. So I've jacked the car up over here and then put it on an axle stand at the rear to allow me to get enough room underneath. Taken the rubber off, dropped that down, which allowed me enough room here to get this off. So here it is, and as you can see, we'll show you it once it's off properly, but it is completely, absolutely rotten. So that's quite clearly where it was coming from. So what we need to do now is cut that off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to offer that up to there. I mean, that's not pushed on fully, because what I think I'm probably going to have to do is drop the whole exhaust down, or take this pipe off at the back box, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get that pipe onto there without doing that, and I may have to cut some more off here to do that anyway, because the new one is quite a lot longer, as you can see, than the old one. So we may have to cut the pipe to suit. So yeah, I'm going to hold it up. I've got a pen here. I'm going to mark it and try and guesstimate as to where I need to cut it. We'll measure it. So what we'll do is we'll offer it up. We'll draw a line where it matches, and then we'll measure in and mark it there. And obviously it goes right up to this part. Obviously that needs to go on further. So what I'll hammer that. I'll tap that on so it goes all the way on. I'm assuming it needs to come up to that mark just there or thereabouts. We'll just tap it on as much as we can, and then we'll take it back off, pull this back up to here, mark it as to where we've got to cut it. I think we've got to cut it right at the very end. Yeah, in fact I think I might just do that anyway, because obviously if it needs to be cut shorter I can cut it shorter, but I think you can't cut it longer once you've cut it off, so I'm not going to go further back. I'm just going to cut it at the opposite end of the of here, so just the other side of the ridge bit there. I'm going to cut it there, and hopefully that end is going to fit over that. He says this is the problem I saw someone else had. I say if it is a problem, I'll just get a complete new one, which includes a flexi, and then it'll just be quite an easy matter of doing it then. But I don't want to do that. They're only about 75 quid, but obviously there's nothing wrong with this. It's just the flexi. There it is. Came off. See where I cut it. I could cut it a bit further back, but I'm not going to. I'll show you why. I mean, that, as you can see, that's just completely snapped off. So that was well and truly knackered. So that's where it was blowing. 100% that's where it was blowing. No doubt about that, I don't think. Right. Okay. So let me show you underneath. So, okay, so what I've done, that will push on all the way up to there. As you can see, that's quite a long piece. Now you see the line that's further in. So what that is I've measured that piece from there to there. Well, so although it will go further, we don't need it to go further, we only need it to go there. And then with that, gives me a nice piece to go in there as well. So I think it's going to be fine. So I'm just going to do a test fit with that, and the good thing is, of course, it does fit as well. So once that's got the brackets around it, and the gum, I'll clean that up with some sandpaper just to get the soot off of it, and then we'll put the gum around. Once we've done test fit, we'll put the gum around it, which comes with this, which is good. I don't know how long you're supposed to leave it for. Chances are I actually won't start the engine today. And then once we've done that, we'll get the back hanger back on. But it's all gone swimmingly so far. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. That's good. How much was it they wanted? They wanted about 180 quid at Quick Fit to do that. It's only taken me so far about 20 minutes, half hour. So it's not bad going. Right, I'm just going to put the angle grinder away, and we'll get on. There you go, it's all done. So that's another first for me. I've never done that before. I've got to do it up the other end. I've got to put the thing back on, but yeah, it's all done. So the paste. So according to the according to the instructions on the paste tube, it said put the paste in on the interior of the bigger pipe, which of course is the flexi. So actually belt and braces, I did it on both, and it's sort of equally in both ends. And then as you can see, I put the new clamps on, and you're supposed to leave it for 30 minutes, and then run the car for 10 minutes before you drive it. So I will be able to drive it. So that's exactly what I'll do. I'm going to go and have some lunch. When I come back, I will start the engine for 10 minutes, and I think while I'll let it down on the on the jack and the axle stand at the back, but I'm going to leave it up on the ramps. And I said I was going to service it, but look at that oil filter, shine torch, and that's brand new. So it looks like it's had a new sump as well, doesn't it? That looks virtually new, that sump, although the bolts don't look particularly new. But it does look quite new, that sump. So I reckon it's been done. But yeah, going by the age of that it don't need an oil change. I can't remember what we got service history-wise of this. Probably nothing. But I'll have a look. But yeah, so far so good. I was going to service it, but as I say, as you can see there, it doesn't need it. I'll have a look at the air filter because they don't always change those on a service. But yeah, well pleased with that. Really, really pleased. Saved me the best part of 200 quid. And done it myself in less than an hour. Much less than an hour.
Do you want me to go down there? Are you sure?
Right, I think while I'm waiting for that cement paste to go off, I thought I'd have a go at this. This is just pushed in a little bit. It's just this little tip here. That's all it is. That's just dirt. That will buff off. So I just need to get hooked in there with this and hopefully tease it out hopefully without bending that. But I'm not taking this off. I'm just going to get the tool in there behind it and see if we can push it. I might even be able to get something behind it and push it without using that. I'll see how it goes. But I've got the heat gun here. I'm going to heat it up first, and yeah, fingers crossed it comes out. And then we might move on to the one at the back as well. Seeing as I still got to clean the interior, clean the seats and what have you, but until I get that stereo in properly, I don't really want to be doing that, so we'll do this first. So that took a few seconds. It did pull that bit out, but all I'm going to do now is hammer that back. So that is completely flat now. Oh, sorry, I'm not pointing at it. That's completely flat. I just need to get this, whatever that is, off. But yeah, we just need to tap that back. Flat. There you go. Might need to put a little bit of paint just on the end. A little bit more there. It's awkward. I should have turned the wheel. That'll do. It just needs to go a little bit back a little bit more. I'll do that once I've got the car down. But yeah, I think that's all right now. Yeah. I will need a tiny. I just need to touch in a bit of paint there. It's just chipped a little bit of paint there. But I'll get a, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if that looks it, but that's just dirt. It's completely straight now. That's it. That's that bit done. I did notice a bit underneath, but you can't actually see it from the outside. There's one of the typical. I think it's just to the left of that of where the jack is. There, you can't actually see it. You might see a tiny bit of paint chipped off. It has gone up underneath a little bit, but it hasn't. Luckily, not done the outside. So I'm not going to do anything with that. I'll just touch up that little bit of chip paint that's there, and then that should be all right. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. I can't turn the wheel because it's on the ramp, but yeah, nice. Okay, I'll get something to see if we can get that off. Whatever it is, I think it's just dirt. I've also pulled that out. It has cracked the paint on there, so it's going to need a little bit of work. It's going to need a bit of tapping back. Get rid of the cracked paint and a bit of filler on there. So it's going to need a little bit of paint down there and a little bit of paint down there, which shouldn't be too arduous. I've got all three shades of this colour, so it shouldn't be difficult to match it. All needs a good clean. I think we've got some new number plates. I think I've bought new number plates. If not, I will get some because I don't like leaving the old number plates on. Got to get these Peter Vardy stickers off. I'm going to do that in a minute actually. And on the windscreen as well, back window as well. But we're losing the light, but I am also going to hoover up some more
glass in there. If you can hear it, that's why I leave it off for a little while. I could drill out the honeycomb thing. It's held in by 4 rivets, which means I can take it out and then get to it properly. I'm going to try and hoover it out from underneath like I've done before, and then hopefully that'll be it, and then we can get it all get the door card back on, which will be nice. Right, it's pretty much dark now. I couldn't get it out, so I took that out. So now I'm going to have to put that back in, and then oh, it's not focusing very well in the dark. Yeah, so it's held in by 4, as you can see there. So I need to get that back in, and then re-rivet it back in. But I think I've got all the glass up now. There's still a few bits there. Hopefully it will end up at the bottom, and then we'll get this riveted back in. Right, so let me give you a quick update on what's going on with this car now. So we now have got the Xtrons stereo installed, and it looks great. Looks really nice. I've made some dirty marks on there. I haven't scratched it. In case you were thinking it's scratched, it's some greasy marks. I don't know where that's come from, but we just need to clean those off. We haven't got a Speedo in here at the moment because, as you know, the Speedo that I bought was no good, so that's gone back, and I am getting the other one repaired, which I've got to send off tomorrow. I have got the MOT book for Monday, but I'm going to cancel that because I'm not going to be ready because the Speedo won't be back in time, and I'm not putting yet another temporary Speedo in there, putting all the trim back on again to then have to take it all out again. So I thought we'll just postpone the MOT for the time being. That's out down there because we've been running the cables. Bloody hell. Shit. Fuck. Bloody hell. So this is the wheel that's off of the passenger side front, and it's actually okay. The tyre's actually okay on this one. I thought this one needed replacing, but it doesn't. The one on this side, on the driver's side, is very bad. As you can see, completely cracked and balled down that side, and there's only about 1 millimetre, so that's well overdue. So that one will be replaced. But what I didn't realise, I'm sure I did at the time, is this one. It's got a bit of tread, not fantastic, but as you can see, that'll come up as that won't fail the MOT, I don't think, but it's certainly come up as an advisory. So I thought it's probably best to replace this one. So what I'll do is that good one from the front, I'll swap over and put it on the back. Right, we are all ready for the new tyres now. I'm going to leave shortly to go and get those. So I swapped over the good one on the front here to the poor one on the back there. All the wheels have been acid cleaned, as you saw. So we've got a good tyre on the back here, and we've also got a good tyre on the back here. All the wheel arches back and front are all cleaned, greased up round where the wheels go on. Not on the fronts, I haven't, because I haven't got them on yet. So all the arch liners and everything are all clean. While the wheel's off, we'll touch that little bit of paint up and just tap that as well, because that, sorry, I'm not pointing at it, that needed just a little bit of extra tapping. You saw me do that, but the wheel was in the way, so I'll do that in a minute. Otherwise I'll forget. We'll try and dry it off, and because obviously it's a wet and damp and horrible, but I'll dry it off with a heat gun and so on, and I'm just touching a bit of paint on that. That's all it needs. I might try and polish that out, see if that'll come out. That way all we need to do on there is just touch those little bits in there. And obviously this is going to need, I've improved this massively, but it does need obviously rubbing down past the crack in the paint, and then we'll get some filler on that. I'm probably not going to do that today because, again, although it's not raining at the moment, it is a damp day. I keep saying I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Definitely do these today. Get these bloody things off. And I don't think, I always like to put new number plates on. And I don't think I've ordered any because there's none in the car. So I'm going to get some of these ordered today as well, because I always like to put new number plates on. Unnecessary, completely unnecessary, and it's 14 quid out of my profit, but I just like to do it. I've also got to do the rear beam as well. I've got to give that a wire brush and a protection, so that'll all be nice for the next owner. Not really much left to do. The postman has just picked up the Speedo that's being sent off for repair. £132 I think it was in the end. I had a coupon on eBay for I think 10 quid off or something, 7%, something like that, whatever it was. So that will take, they normally turn it around the same day. So today's Friday, I've sent it 48 hours, so they're probably not going to get it till Monday. Chances are, they send it back by special delivery, so chances are it'll be back by Tuesday. If that's the case, I'll get that in. As I said, I've cancelled the MOT now, so the MOT's been cancelled. I think I've already said this, so forgive me if I have. I've cancelled the MOT and rebooked it for the 2nd of January. So the car is MOT'd. I have probably got a buyer for this. And I did ask her a week or so ago, is she still interested in this one? Gave her an update saying it's been on the back burner for a little while. Are you still interested? And she said, yes, absolutely. So once I've got it down on its wheels and I've got that bit of painting done, I'll message her and say, look, it's going to be done before the new year, but I'm putting a new MOT on it. If you want to come and have a look and just, say definitely that you want it, then so much the better. If not, then I can look to market it afterwards. I think they'll get it. They wanted a beige one. And there was a beige one coming up. There is a beige one I was going to buy at BCA. It's colour therapy, but I really haven't got room for more because I've got another one that you haven't seen yet, which is parked over at my sister-in-law's, which you will be seeing very soon because I'm possibly going to go and get it this weekend and bring it over. So we'll do a walk around on that. We also have another one completely out of sight there that I did the walk around several weeks ago. You can't see it, but I've done the walk around on that already. But I'm not going to release that until the car is done. I'm trying that as a little experiment, having the car finished before you've even seen it. I don't know why, but I just thought I would do that. Usual stuff, front end, look forward to doing it, but not in this weather. So I will be back shortly. I'm going to go, as I say, I'm going to go and get my tyres. So I will see you in a little bit, and then we'll wrap this video up, and then we can go into the last day after that. Well, I remember when I was here about 2 months ago, actually it was in September, so it's the 12th of December today. I was here in October, when it was really warm. We had a sunny day, and there was a Fiat 500 here, a mint green one. And I mentioned then that it's been here for months, this Fiat 500, up for south of 5695. It's over there, it's still there, he still hasn't sold it. Okay, that's that done. That's the new tyres on. So everything's clean underneath. Got new tyres on the front. All the wheels are nice and clean. Yeah. If it wasn't for the Speedo just been sent off, it will be ready for MOT, which is a shame. But you know, it is what it is. I could have put a temporary Speedo in there and adjusted the mileage to the correct mileage, but I just wanted to. I didn't want to have to do that yet again. So yeah, not much left to do now, really. So all we've got to do is put the Speedo back in when it arrives. Put all the cowlings back on. We've got to clean the seats. We've got to clean the interior. We've got to clean the exterior. Got to do that bit of damage over on the wheel arch. That won't take very long. Touch up a few bits of paint. I'll do the axle underneath, and that's it. It'll be done then. It'll be ready. But MOT's not until the 2nd of January. So join me for the next one, which will obviously be after the 2nd of January, because the car will be finished obviously once that MOT is done, because that will be the last thing to have to do. So I can have a little bit of a rest over Christmas. I won't have a rest over Christmas, will I? Maybe Christmas Day and Boxing Day, but we'll be starting on the new car that you haven't seen, one of the 2 new cars that you haven't seen yet. I think you'll like it. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be the one that I'm going to do the cam belt on. Look forward to that. So that's it for this one. As I say, we'll be back on day 3, which will be the last one at the beginning of January. Until then, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is absolutely free of charge. There is no cost. So just hit that button and do us all a favour, well, me especially, by getting the video. The more subscribers you get, the more views you get, the more it pushes it out to other people, suggests it to other people, and it helps the channel grow. So, until the next time, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.